Yeah, we're awesome. We also don't have intro music. Um, I'm not really sure what we are tonight because the man who hits the buttons is not here with us. So instead, you get me trying to run the ship with some backstage help from Kaz, and we've dragged Elaine on here to do things we didn't even talk about doing before we started this whole thing.
But
So
it's gonna be awesome regardless.
that's right, because I don't feel like I have Charles's ability to go, "Are you tired of being awesome alone?" I am. Elaine is. Charles isn't. He's off somewhere alone, but we aren't. We are being awesome together, and we are going to debrief about Dragon Con because all those wonderful things Charles said in the highlight. No, not happening.
They're wonderful,
We there
but
are, and we
it's
totally want to do an episode on it.
yeah, it's just not what we were ready. Like we need to decompress.
Yeah, no, I don't have that
And
much
I'm
brain
still not
power.
over it. I'm still not over it. So we need to talk about it.
No, absolutely. I'm having the worst post dragon I think I've had in I can't tell how long, just because I miss it so badly.
Mm.
So, but Elaine, do you want to tell them who you are
Sure thing. Hi
in
everyone. My
case
name
they
is.
don't know?
In case they don't know, which it's true. In case you don't know, my name is Elaine. I'm also a instructor over at a local university in our region, and I teach media, or at least that's what they tell me. I show up and I keep doing it, and I'm still doing it, so it's happening. And as well, I'm also a pretty big nerd. I don't know if it's obvious, but you know, they are signs, as they might say. And yeah, I'm just really happy to be here and be around really awesome people.
Yay. Well, we're happy to have you. Elaine and I met through Charles, and she also volunteered for our track. And speaking of our track, Earth Station Boo is here in the house. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you
Hey,
how wonderful it was to have her and get to finally meet her at Dragon Con. So, definitely one of the highlights. So, at this point in the episode, we do something called Shelf Watch.
that Tyro. Oh, where's your
I,
shelf?
I, I'm still not in my office. So we don't have exact shelf watch yet, but we have morphed this into being our kind of way of saying, what you doing right now? What are you into? What's on your shelf? So right now on my shelf is trying to get my shelf. We are working super hard on the house. We have a good friend coming to stay with us for a couple of weeks from Cyprus. And yeah, he needs a guest room, and right now it's just a cosplay loving area.
I love
So,
that. I need a cosplay living area because right now I am in my home office, which will become a home studio. As you can tell,
ooh,
it's not there yet. I just moved into this house 2 years ago. My first order of business was my gym. So if y'all need a gym watch, I got me a home gym watch. But then the second
wow,
order of business was at least get this. But now we're going to turn this into a studio space. So that will be eventually painted, backlighting, front lighting, all
nice.
the things. But at least I do have a shelf though.
You
That was some
do.
yes, though a year in I finally got a shelf and I have thoroughly nerded it up. But now I have a problem that I have a second helmet.
Oh,
Please,
yes.
Station Boo, that needs to go. So this is actually going to end up having a mannequin. So I don't know if we have a mannequin watch,
Oh, we could.
but eventually there'll be a mannequin watch where this will go
We
on.
we we watch everything. Matter of fact, we could have a watch Shane and Tyra Sand Armor watch because that's going to be coming.
I would actually watch that. So I did not make my armor. Let me just put that right now. Cryptid Armory, he's a friend of mine, actually a former
That's awesome.
student from our institution
Ooh,
before he decided
nice.
to go into 3D printing and all this other stuff. And he really helped me develop the armor, taught me a couple things. So my next order of business, the next thing I'd love to do is make my own armor.
Oh well, we have some thoughts on printers.
Okay, okay. I will
We
have
have
to.
we have some pretty big feels on printers in this house.
I've been hearing people have a lot of opinions about printers, and so I'm delving deep
Uh-huh.
into that next. And there's no
No,
shelf
yeah.
space for that. There will have to be another shelf at another
Well,
corner
no,
for that.
you need a table because you got to
It's
have
gonna be
it. You have
okay.
to have an enclosure,
Okay.
and it's a whole thing. And yeah, we will definitely talk about
A whole nother episode. Got it.
a whole nother episode that we can bore Charles with. It'll be awesome. So, but I do love your shelf. You've got a Bo Katan back there. I
Yes,
love
yes,
her.
yes, and I'm very excited. That was actually signed by Katie Sackhoff at my first Atlanta Comic Con,
Right.
which was last year.
Charles actually, I think Charles interviewed her.
I didn't realize that Charles was, because I had met Charles last year at only my second Dragon Con. And I
Oh,
just kind of
okay.
stumbled into the digital media room and was kind of shy actually
As
because
people do.
everybody was so intimidated. But Charles was so warm, so amazing. And so I hadn't really gotten into the groups. I hadn't really known that Charles was like working the con circuit. So I was there going to see Katie Sackhoff, not knowing she was going to be at Dragon Con the next year. And my whole order of business was just to get that signed and meet her, and she was amazing. It's amazing what they give for that small moment of time that you
Yeah.
meet them, and to make someone feel so seen when you don't know them. They don't owe us anything, so I thought that was just really fantastic. I have really warm moments about that. And then there's the picture of me at this Dragon Con with the three Mandalorians, Simon, Katie, and Emily, which
Yes.
was that was for me a top, that was a big bucket moment.
Oh,
And they were very cool about it. Just awesome. That was brilliant.
they were they were wonderful. I think we were behind you in line.
Yes, yes,
Either
that was a lot of fun
yes.
too. That was awesome.
We were having a little meltdown because we needed to find our ticket, and that was a whole nother thing. But we found it. Well, we didn't find it. They printed us a new one. So epic, good on you. And so yeah, that was our big kind of spend for this Dragon Con, was to get
Yeah.
that picture, because I love Katie and Bo-Katan, and then we saw Simon and the armorer as well, whose name just left my brain.
Oh, he's part of the. Oh man, me too.
He's Axe Wolves. I can't
There it is.
remember.
There it is. Yeah. But it was.
Hi,
I also knew Emily from other.
Emily. That's
Yes,
it.
I knew Emily from other content like Supernatural.
Ah, okay.
I hadn't realized that I've been watching her in a ton of some of my favorite shows, and even voice acting that she's done. And then here comes the armor. I'm like, that voice sounds familiar. And we look it up, like, you got to be kidding me. So that was pretty cool to get that multi fandom moment too.
Yeah, and she's just wonderful. I mean, I we went to the one of the panels that actually one of our digital media guys, Rob Roberts, was the moderator on, and thoroughly enjoyed hearing their stories. And actually, somebody asked the best question. He asked them, what charity were they involved with, what kind of
Mm,
nonprofits, and they actually ended up like John Bodega and Simon. Simon was like, what? That exists? I want to get involved with that, because it was in like their part of London,
yeah,
and it was just cool watching them connect.
that's neat.
Um,
That's cool. I love that.
our station Boo says Katie was amazing. When I met her years ago, I told her how my dad loved her in Longmire, and she FaceTimed him to say thank you. Oh, that's so
That's
sweet.
amazing. That's
Oh my
whirlwind right there.
gosh. I'm not surprised. She knew we have a group of us that are part of a Discord for Din Djarin Bo-Katan, and one of my friends, Emily, she's loves Katie, and Katie knows who she is. Like I
Oh,
said, something like Katie was just here, and I was like, Emily just saw you, and she's like, oh yeah, Emily, and I was like, oh my gosh, just warmed my heart. Good people.
good people. Yeah. That's something that's always interesting. People say, well, why would you want to meet these celebrities and pay this money? Like, it's a moment. Like, if it's
Yeah,
the same thing as people who are paying lots of money to go to special football. Super Bowl. They always have the pre-Super Bowl week, whatnot. It's that same thing in sports as it is in that moment in any other fandom that you might think of. Meeting your favorite author. There's just, you resonate with the characters that they've played, especially with Katie having played Bo-Katan
oh my,
for so long, and then listening to her
I
story,
know.
right, from the voice acting to then actually having to embody in the live action, and how there was the schism almost of that, was just, it gives you a whole different appreciation. And you just appreciate people's craft, and it's nice to be able to tell them in
Yeah,
person, I appreciate the effort that you have done to give us something. And
yeah.
it was cool to be able to say that.
Yeah, and she got to see some pictures of the bunny hutch, and she is all in.
Yes, I never quite know how to, like, when someone asks me about the bunny hutch, I never quite know. I like it's you
It's
kind
a,
of have to see it. You have to see it to believe it.
it's,
It's really amazing.
it's weird. It's a celebration of bunnies.
Yeah, and my favorite is when you see the Ferengi bunny walking around, and
The Fergie's funny.
it's incredible. It's you wouldn't, who would have thought Ferengi in a bunny suit?
As Earth Station Boo says, you have to be there. One of
Yes.
our friends actually came as um, Rosie the robot from the Jetsons. That was her bunny hutch. It
Oh
was
my
awesome.
gosh,
It was
that's
so awesome.
Rosie's like, I'm
It was
gonna get a night out too, Jetsons.
it was adorable, and her husband looked very dapper as Hef.
Oh, nice. I like that.
So, but yeah, I hope Katie comes back next year. I hope now that she's kind of experienced Dragon Con, that she'll be like, yes,
Because
I'm
it's
there.
very different from for any other folks who've been at any other cons. Like I've done the San Diego Comic Con thing a couple times.
Oh, you
Uh,
have?
yes. So I lived in California for many years, and so we
Okay.
did San Diego Comic Con one time, the full time, and then two times only, like a day or a little bit. And WonderCon was actually one of my first conventions. I was at WonderCon in
Uh,
San Francisco the last year that it was in San Francisco before it permanently moved to Anaheim, and that's interesting. It's been interesting to see how WonderCon has evolved and changed and went from a fan multimedia convention to what is essentially now a multimedia industry convention.
yeah.
And so there's a lot of insider meetings, things like that. Ape is even connected to it. San Diego Comic Con, kind of similar, but way more us looking in
It's
media and
co-
marketing and PR. It's great to look at
it's
San Diego
very
Comic Con.
corporate.
It's very corporate. That's where all the big promotions happen. Dragon Con is that you don't get that. Like when
It's
the stars come here, they don't come here to promote a new show or a new movie
right.
or a new something. It's in a very different style. It's truly more of a this is a connection period between us and these fans. And so it's very interesting. That's why for folks I tell you, like, you've got to come here to experience it and see it.
Hmm.
It has a total different, and
It's
you hear celebrities talk about it too. They come to Dragon Con and they're like, this is not what I expected. They just expected another Fan Expo because Fan Expo is
right.
now another corporate arm. They're everywhere from Utah. They're across the
Yeah,
whole,
all over
and
the
creation,
place.
creation entertainment
Yes.
events. Highly corporatized. They're very organized. Don't get me wrong, but
Right.
super corporatized. And so it has that taste and feel. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying that they're wrong. It's different.
No, it's very different. I actually wrote an academic case study on Dragon Ball
Yes, you did.
because
I
you should
may or
take
may
your
not,
loves.
yeah, I may or may not be looking into the whole cruise, fandom cruise scenes.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, no. And there's actually Six Man is the one for musicians, and my nephew works with them. And
Oh,
they also have a relationship with a certain music entertainment business program at a certain
uh-huh.
university
that we know
that
about.
we yes, that we know
Oh,
about.
oh, that's
Uh,
intriguing.
so Earth Station Boo said it's truly a fandom con. If you're a fan, it's home, and I think that's 100% true.
Yeah.
It's the largest run fan convention in the world. There isn't one like Dragon Con, and when you try to tell people what it's about, it's like uh, everything and its uncle. Uh, we have the kitchen sink. I mean, we have Star Trek, Star Wars. We have the Brit Track with Doctor Who. We have digital media. We have Ghost Hunters. We have the EFF people talking about
Mhm.
what are the spaceships doing. We've got fantasy literature, sci-fi literature, a writer's
Yeah.
track. We've got a urban fantasy. We've got
Puppetry, yes.
puppetry. We've got classic sci-fi. We've got main stage programming. We've got we used to have alternate history. We still do have alternate
I
history.
forgot
We have
about that.
gaming, video gaming.
Gaming.
I mean, puppetry. We've got a theater track that kind of we don't. It's not a virtual track, but there's a lot of theater connected things that are
Yeah.
happening. Um, what else do I mean? It's just everything you could
Yeah.
possibly imagine.
And that's also
There's
something
like
that's so different because I've been to San Diego Comic Con. San Diego Comic Con actually has, there are some educational panels. There's even an academic conference associated with San Diego Comic Con, but it's very controlled now. But things like that. But there are some educational panels there, but
Right.
it's very strictly related to back to the corporatized media aspect and whatnot, and they're much smaller in number. Essentially, there are some fan run panels too, but once again, it's smaller. Dragon Con almost relies entirely on these
Oh yeah.
incredible convergence panels that is sometimes it's not even about media, it's about science, or or like
Right.
say it's just about this moment in history. Two of my friends went to one panel that was about the nuclear power plant that went down almost here in the US. While they did talk about
Yes.
media, it was also a bunch of scientists who were also talking about it, which I'm like,
Right.
it's just like you don't get that necessarily at this
No, it is.
at San Diego Comic Con, at Chicago WonderCon, at Wizard Con or New York Comic Con. Not at this level, and I think that's also what's really cool about this con, and that's really what actually attracted me to Digital Media Track. Is because when I came to my first Dragon Con, I was on my third one. When I came to my first one, I was just there to experience Dragon Con as a newbie. I'd been to San Diego Comic Con, and I wanted to see Star Trek, and that's where I actually met one of my really good friends now. We met in line at a Star Trek right for the first Strange New Worlds panel, and that was amazing. That's our friendiversary. And so far, every year we've
Aw.
had a Dragon Con, there's been a Star Trek panel. So we've made sure to always make sure to go to one of them. And then looking at the entire exhausting
It's so exhausting.
the whole program, but seeing, I was teaching social media, I was teaching media, and then I saw there's not just one panel on this, and it's not just about big creators. It was really smallest type things when I'm like, whoa, what is this? And it caught my attention to a point that eventually in my second year, I eventually found when I discovered where the Hilton Galleria was finally. Let me tell you, learning my way around Dragon Con was
Oh,
I could
it's
it was scary the
people
first time.
people
So
when people go to like San Diego Comic Con and places like that, they're always like, it's too much, it's too many places to. I'm like, sugar plum, they are at least all in a row
Sugar.
mostly.
Yeah, at least
You know,
it's all like one convention center. Maybe there's one or two events outside, but it's all, with it. No,
in
whereas
what
here, getting a sense of the
it's
5 hotels and getting to learn the sky bridges.
oh yes, that's key.
This is the
Very,
first
very
year I
key.
managed two of them. I managed two of them. I know the pathway of two. Do not ask me for
Very
any
good.
more. That's
I
next
know all
year's
of
that's next year's business is to memorize all of them.
I will
But
help you.
no,
I have
thank
a map
you.
actually.
I tried the Dragon Ball map too. I'm like, I'm not built for this. So
No.
help me.
I made a map for my Mandalorian
Uh,
friends. I was like, here
Whatever
you
you
go,
need to just
ladies.
flip out. Here you go.
And
No,
I
but
and I marked the good bathrooms.
we need that. I
It's
got a couple
important.
of them now. Absolutely. But it was fantastic. That was very cool about this con that I find is also uniquely special.
Yeah. So Elaine just said, not you're Elaine, but Earth Station Food just said the Skeptics track has some fun panels, and
Yeah,
that's
they
absolutely
do.
true. I was so sad I missed the ghost hunters were here, the old ghost hunters, and I can't remember what Amy Bruni does, her show. Kindred Spirits, her and her co-host were here, and we missed seeing them. So that was one of our things. But this woman, Earth Station Boo, used the scooters to get from, I know
Too
from the
brave.
West End to the Hilton.
You're too brave.
I will, no, I would be on the sidewalk if I did that.
Mm-mm. I know
And then
myself. I
there would
can
be an
barely walk on my
ambulance.
own 2 feet. I can
Oh
barely walk
yeah.
on my own 2 feet. Barely.
N- Not
Barely.
gonna lie, I would be in the hospital.
No. I've seen too many viral
Yeah,
videos that I'm like, that's gonna be me. Absolutely not.
yeah, no,
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 so much. No, you couldn't pay me enough. You couldn't pay me. You could offer me all the free monk's meadery that you could, and I would still say no. Absolutely
yeah, no,
not. Not today,
no,
Satan. Not
I would
today,
be getting
Scooter.
no. I would be getting a lecture for the next year from my husband. Like, did you think somebody else inhabited your body and gave you grace? I have no coordination. I barely can walk as well. So
Yeah.
we will be avoiding those as you zoom by us, Earth
Hmm.
Station Boo.
I'll wave to you. I'll wait.
Yes.
But I sit
So
very cool and calmly on my water because that's what
I
it
think,
is.
oh yeah. So I think this was my 37th Dragon Con.
That's incredible.
I started going either year two or three. I'm not positive. A boyfriend of mine took me, and that was short lived because he ended up being gay, which was fine. But he did introduce me to fandom, and I will forever be thankful for him for that. But yeah, we came to it, and it used to rotate for a short time between Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, decades ago. And then it finally settled on Labor Day.
Yeah,
And so next year is the 40th anniversary,
I remember everybody
and
talking about that.
it's going to be insane.
It's gonna be a big bash. So for you, having gone to this con for so many years, what has been like if you had to point to like one of the most significant changes that you have seen? What do you think that you've seen that you're like,
That's a
oh
good
yeah,
question.
y'all should have seen this years ago, or it, you know, it wasn't like this now, or what's better? Let's focus on the positive. Like what's better?
Oh yeah, no, no, no. I think well, it used to be so like now the Marriott, the Pulse Bar is the
Mm-hmm.
place to be. It
Mm.
used to be the Hyatt.
Oh,
It used to be the Hyatt bar, and that totally switched about, I guess, about 10 years ago or so. It switched over to the Pulse, and I'm not sure why. I mean, part of it was probably the Marriott did some redoing so that there's a much larger open space. Because if you look at the Hyatt,
mm.
where that bar is, it's not a good open space.
No, it's not very
Um,
comfy.
no, the second best thing they ever did was put in the sky bridges. So when you used to go from the Hyatt to the Marriott, you would go down to the ballroom level and then go down a flight of stairs
Uh-uh.
outside that were concrete, that were
No,
huge. I know, because
no,
I fell up them.
uh-uh.
Yeah, no,
That's
that
and
was the
especially
way.
with how hot it can sometimes get.
Oh yeah.
That's sometimes I know the sky bridges can get busy sometimes. I know. But sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah, no,
So,
sometimes it's
because
worth
as
suffering, but
hot as it gets in the sky bridge, it's not nearly as hot as it is sometimes outside. Although I will say
yeah.
this year's weather felt
Oh, it was
amazing.
so
It
good.
was so good.
So good. And I think it helped with keeping the sky bridges not as bad.
Mm.
But before we had the sky bridge from the Hyatt to the Marriott and then from the Marriott to the Hilton, it was horrible. Yeah, sky bridges are a godsend. You're not kidding. Also, the food court finally putting in the long one has been here for a long time.
Hmm. Is
But
that the Peachtree one? Peachtree Center? Peachtree
yeah,
Hub? The
Peachtree
hub?
Center over to the hub over to the parking deck.
That was the first thing I memorized with the Sky Bridge. For those of you who don't know, I'm
Yeah.
very food orientated, so it was a high priority for me to register. How do I get to the
I
hub
did
from a Sky Bridge?
I did not know that.
I love food so much. I'm very
Oh.
food is a high top. You know
Okay,
how
so let
Maslow puts self actualization at like the very most top level of thing that you can maintain as a human being. I say screw
yeah.
that. You take the food, then you put it. That is
Put it
the
there.
top. That's the most important thing for me. That is transcendence. Food.
So, what's your okay, so two questions. What's your favorite food, just in general? And then what's your favorite food that you had at Dragon Con?
My favorite food in general. Oh, okay. My mom's baked macaroni and cheese. So
Oh, I love macaroni
yeah,
and cheese.
and we
Oh
we
my
have a
gosh.
we have a I can't say I don't know if the recipe is any different or weighted than from America. So I'm originally from South Africa. I grew up there until I was 13. And so we kind of there's Dutch French heritage, and so some of the stuff is the same, but some of it's different. So we have a
Okay.
baked mac and cheese. It's not nearly as
Yep.
cheesy as here in the U.S.
Oh. Oh
Um,
yeah, we love our
like
cheese.
that Velveeta, yeah, we don't use that. And even
Oh,
when
I
we
don't
do
either.
mixed cheese, you don't. It still doesn't come out as cheesy. It's more like an egg bake almost thing. That
Oh,
that if
okay.
you had to ask me what's my last meal, like I want that.
Yay, boo
But
boo.
my favorite food at Dragon Con, I really loved. There's the bulgogi place
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
hub. Um, because I if you're going to be a Dragon Con, you're going to be moving around a lot. Heavier food sometimes hits me just wrong. Sometimes you're also sitting for a long time. And this year I was volunteering, and so I was sitting sometimes 2-3 hours, working there. And so their poke bowls, awesome,
Were
hit
they
every
good?
time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I have to do that
No,
next time.
it was pretty good in my opinion. I always like to go for the raw fish, but they've got cooked meat too. Get a little kimchi
I'm a
because I
sushi girl.
love kimchi. Um, oh, actually, no, wait. I love ramen too. Don't tell my mother. It's not that I don't love her baked mac and cheese. We're like, I love ramen. Shoot. I love food. Okay, we'll keep it there. We'll keep it there. But the point
Just
is,
keep it there.
close second is ramens and anything like that. But no, the bulgogi spot was a really good one. Ooh, and then I had the Vietnamese banh mi. I forgot the place's name, but it's the Vietnamese spot next to the ramen spot,
Spot.
next to the next to the CVS, I think. Um,
Yes, the lovely CVS.
that was fantastic. That really hit day 4 Dragon Con, starting to feel things a little bit at dinner time. Extra extra pork banh mi slapped so hard. It was so good. Oh, it was so good.
We
Oh,
we
yeah,
do.
Tin Lizzy's.
I love Tin Lizzy's. We'll have to do a meetup. And
I'm not
Amal,
listening.
I can't say that.
Amalfi?
Amalfi. Then we'll go for that. Really super good. We ate at Amalfi last year, and I was kind of sad we didn't this year. We ate at a place called the Atlantean. It's connected to the steakhouse, whose name I can't remember, but it starts with a C. Chops. It's connected to them and upstairs, but it's an Atlantan Italian restaurant.
Oh,
Oh my.
oh, oh.
The lasagna, if you like ricotta cheese and bechamel sauce, it
Yes.
had a bechamel layer on top covered with mozzarella baked.
Ooh,
It was
I
glorious.
gotta swallow my drool. Hang on.
I
Hang
know,
on.
I know. And Earth Station do another good one. The Irish pub by the Westin is great. That's Mian's. I love Mian's. We didn't get to Mian's this year either. Um, we go to a little place called White Oak, which changed hands from last year and it turned into a French establishment. Still good food. Had really, if you like mussels, we love mussels.
I
They
do
were
like
awesome
mussels.
there. Oh, really good. And actually, the Atlantean has really good mussels too. Both
Yeah,
of
we've
them
mentioned
had really
like
good ones.
food, right? Like we've
Yeah,
established this, everyone. There's very little I will not eat in this world,
I,
and there's
I am
very
very
little
picky.
I will not enjoy.
Yeah, that's
My
so much
mother
better than
raised
me.
a very adventurous palate, so
That's good.
yeah, my usual philosophy is eat first, ask questions later.
Yeah, no. Well, I have to ask the question of, will this kill me? That's
Okay, that's
important
fair. No, 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 that's fair. Some
because
people
I
have to.
have a food allergy
If you've got a
and
food allergy, that's got to be priority. Absolutely. No, no,
putting
no.
the fear of God into waiters has been my life's work.
Very different concept. No, I'm very privileged in terms of not having to deal with food allergies yet. Hang on. Here we go.
I know.
And
Yes, not because you
so
never know as you get older.
things change. Absolutely.
It does.
Absolutely. Yeah. My mom has a gluten allergy now, as she's gotten
Oh,
older. And I'm like, I love you, but if your genetics gets me for this, I'm going to be so mad.
I'm gonna come back here and
So
haunt
mad.
you later.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
so mad. I love
now that
gluten.
we've talked about the important things, we've talked about food. I would like to say that I am still mourning the lack of a Starbucks on Peachtree Street like there used to be. There used to be an
There's
actual,
yeah, there's the
it makes me
Caribou
so sad.
Coffee in the Hub.
It's all right.
Don't get me listen, y'all, we're not sponsored here, okay? Not
No,
sponsored
no,
by
we
Starbucks or
wish. If you
Caribou.
want to sponsor
It
us, we will drink
absolutely,
your
right? It'd be
coffee.
very different. But I am, and it's because I have the Starbucks app. I get my points. I don't do the
I
Caribou
know,
one
me
necessarily.
too.
I
Oh,
love it too, but Starbucks has the cold brew.
oh yeah,
It's good.
it's
And
really
right
good.
now it's pumpkin season. My basic you know what has come out to play, and I am loving that pumpkin cold brew.
Oh,
And the
we
pumpkin
we are
cold brew, in
we
my
are
opinion, is best in
non.
Starbucks. A tea spot.
Uh,
That would be good, actually.
I do a tea. That's what Earth Station do. A tea drinker. I'm a tea drinker too. I like um boba tea. I love boba tea, and
Mm.
I do like Caribou. But unfortunately, the drink I like at Caribou has like 6,000 calories in it.
Oh, that's always the
Um,
rub, isn't it?
I know they have a toasted marshmallow s'more. Oh my God, it's so good.
'Tis the season for
We
that
did.
too now.
We did survive off of Caribou when we were, because we actually stayed at the Marriott in the end of June, 1st of July for a Shriners convention
Hmm.
that my husband was going to. So I spent 5 days there going, this is weird. Where are the people? I don't understand. But I would use the Sky Bridge, trek over, go to the Caribou, get us some breakfast and coffee,
But the
come
one
back to
time
the
you're not
Marriott.
gonna have a line, because that's one thing to get used to at Dragon Con is
Oh my God.
regardless, like the food court will be busy the whole time.
Yes.
Just it's just a fact of life of Dragon Con. It's going to be lines, but you'll get through eventually.
Hey,
You
baby.
know, it's part
Hey.
of that plan accordingly and just, figure out when you're gonna eat. The one thing I do love is that you can take in snacks. Nobody checks for your snacks.
Yeah, no,
And
we
so
like
you
the
can bring
snacks.
in your own snacks and your own food if you want to. And then the hotels, I thought that there was a lot more food in the hotels.
There
You
was.
know the hot plate selections that you could have shopped from, and it was a lot more than just hot dogs this year.
Yeah, no, they tried.
They really pushed it
Um,
up.
um, so Earth Station Boo got some loose leaf tea from Transcending Tea. We miss seeing them. I'm kind of disappointed, but we have a cabinet full of tea and we've got to start drinking. But I would love to, I like iced tea. So if I could grab iced tea, I would be all over it. And was a lot of food trucks, both at what I now refer to as the Corgi, but formerly the Sheraton, as well as in the parking lots.
Yes, there was something like 4 different parking lot
Hmm.
designations with, what I loved is that they have selections of just meat places if you just wanted meat, because sometimes all you want is
Yeah,
meat. Sometimes you just
right.
need
You
a
got to get your
protein bomb to
protein.
get you through. And there was a way more of a wide variety of selection this year than I had
I
registered
agree.
last year, which was really cool. It was really nice to see.
And I
I
even
was
went over
not
to the secret.
struggling on that front.
No, I even went over to the secret food court and had lunch one day
Yes.
by
I will
myself.
very and I will say this for anyone, this is not a plug for Dragon Con volunteering. Again, I'm not being sponsored by Dragon Con. I'm just saying, I'm just sitting here in my volunteer t-shirt, which was amazing.
I know.
If you do volunteer for Dragon Con, there is the volunteer vendor where it is a trek. You've got to deal with the Hilton. I decided the Hilton was my go-to because there are actually two, but the Hilton was my go-to one. It's on the 10th floor. And your girl who does not like heights, like
Oh, I did not know.
I do
Okay.
not like heights. The 5th floor is like where I'm like, I can handle this all right. But we go past that 5th floor, I am very firmly just looking at the front. I am just looking at
Right,
the
right.
front, and
Keep
I
that
am not.
eyes focused.
Anybody who wants me to move to the back, I'm like, you're just gonna have to walk by me. Just walk by me. Don't touch me. So I get to that 10th floor, and it's a bit much. But that was a lifesaver. That was so cool that they
Oh,
do that and provide that
good.
for the volunteers, because you can get. I got bottles of water, I got a soda. They sometimes give us some free food every now and again. It's mostly snacks, which was fantastic because sometimes all you want is a snack and you need a snack. And so that was a very, very cool added service that they did that. And I really enjoyed that. And I got a good couple free waters out of that, let me tell you.
I was trying to get my cat. Yes, the villages were
Mhm.
fantastic, and I think Dragon Con tries its best to try to thank its volunteers for all they do. Because without Dragon Con, um, without volunteers, there would be no Dragon Con.
Oh, yeah. Especially with the puppy therapy. I did
I
not get
need
to
puppy
see that, but I
therapy.
heard it was good.
They actually, no, do not bite that cord.
That is not good. That's not therapy.
That was a bad kitty. She was just getting ready to have a good play
Oh,
session. I'm
like
like, no.
cats are very different
Oh, I miss
animal.
them so bad we have two cats and a dog, and I miss them
Yeah,
so bad at Dragon.
because you actually decide to stay at the con, right?
Oh, heck yeah. No,
Yeah,
there's no
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Um, I started that decade even before I met Shane. I've been staying at Dragon downtown for probably 30 years or more.
yeah. Um,
And it used to be my parents because it was different back in the day.
here it is.
We
Yeah,
would
yeah,
we would do a drive-by on Thursday to pick up our badges, but it didn't start on Thursday. There was nothing. You would check into your hotel Friday. The con started like Friday night. It was
yeah. Tell me, was
good.
badge pickup like 16 blocks away from the pickup, and to the point that volunteers were even like, "What's happening?"
Oh,
And that even people who
yeah.
weren't volunteers but obviously had experience with lines were taking over, helping close loops, because that's
Oh,
what we
yes.
experienced. And they were amazing. First of all, whoever you were, bless you, you did the Lord's work. That was incredible. But that was a shock. And I didn't even have to stand in line because as a
Yeah.
volunteer, my director track has gotten my badge for me. But I was there with a friend and I didn't want her, didn't want her to sit alone.
Stand by yourself.
Yeah. So then it was something to see. Let me tell you, like they did the best that they could to move people, but
Oh,
it was a
I
lot
have
of
line
people.
stories.
It was, yeah, it
Dr. Self
was.
Respect is
Whew.
Team Hilton. We're getting ready to enter the Hunger Games again, and I'll be trying to be Team Ritz yet again because that's my
Ooh.
favorite place to stay. Costs the same as the Marriott, but I didn't say that. It's horrible. Do not, in any shape, it's horrible. Do not stay there. Do not try to stay
Don't give
there.
away all your secrets. Don't give away all
So
your
shush,
secrets.
no, not telling anybody. Um, but I will tell you the reason I have an eternal badge as well as most years I have an attending pro these days. But I got an eternal badge back in the 1990s because the lines were so bad and they lost my membership twice.
Oh
And when I found out
no.
I did not have to stand in the huge line if I plopped down, I think it was 750. It was either 500 or
Yeah.
750 when I bought it on a credit card as a, stupid college student who was doing the best thing she would ever do. That's how I did that.
You were doing
But it was
that
because of the
marketing math
lines.
even back then. Even back
I did
then,
the
you
math. I
had that
said,
you figured that out. You have won.
I'll come at least 20 years because it used to be cheaper back then too.
Yeah, yeah.
And so yeah, it was horrible. The line used to be in the Hyatt.
Yeah, it's
It's now
block
in
it's blocks
yeah.
now. It's blocks. It's blocks and blocks and blocks outside. It's blocks. It was yes, it was team wherever I can get that is close. I'm
Team
very lucky. I have a
or
friend who
Station
lives
Boo will
about
talk.
15 minutes away. I have a friend who lives about 15 minutes away.
Oh, that's pretty
So
good.
that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So the drive was not too bad. Um, you're paying for parking in any case every day, and I'm just saying the truest bank
So,
parking, y'all, is.
oh no, the truest bank parking's the best
You
for
didn't
sure.
hear it from
That's
us because we're not giving away our secrets, but
it's definitely like I do.
it's
Well,
definitely the
I'm
best.
lucky. My niece lives 15 minutes away.
Uh,
So I park my car at her house. We dump all our luggage at our hotel, which is horrible.
oh,
Don't
that's
stay at it.
brilliant.
And then I go and drop my luggage um at not my luggage. I drop the luggage and Shane and I take the car to her house and I catch a lift back. And I give her a bottle of Jameson's for her trouble.
See, now that's thinking. That's thinking right
Yeah,
there.
so much
I
cheaper.
gotta take notes on that. If I ever, I'm wondering, um, whether next year I might try to actually stay closer to the con. Because for volunteering, one of the things that I did miss it on was because I had to drive a little bit later out. We stayed
Mm.
out a little bit later, but we also had to drive later. I didn't really stay for a lot of the later panels. And
Oh,
so it would have been a lot more. I think it would have been fun to be able to stay for a couple of them. So one of the things, two reasons actually, being able to stay a little bit later means that you can actually stay for the later cons. Because that's the one other thing about DragonCon, y'all. This thing is
oh my
almost.
God,
It's like
24/7.
it is insane. It's incredible, and there are some seriously good panels at the what. This was the first year I heard it referred to as DragonCon After Dark,
Hmm.
which was brilliant. I'm like, that's exactly what it
It's
is.
it's when we can say the F word.
Yes. And I really wanted to see a couple of those panels, but it was late and we tired. We still had to drive. And we still stayed an
Uh,
extra hour to eat dinner and things like that. So by the time we finished and things like that, and Saturday night, yeah, we partied a little, which was kind of fun. But then it's already like 2 a.m., whatnot. So drive over. So I am thinking
take
about doing
take
that.
lifts. Take lifts. If you stay at
Maybe,
your friend's
yeah.
house next time, take a lift.
Maybe, yeah. And also for the cosplay. So this was my first year cosplaying.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I cosplayed for the first time. My first full cosplay for the Mandalorian outfit.
Oh, no, go ahead. Your Mandalorian is beautiful.
Thank you. It was so it's actually thanks to fan art that was created by Kevin Rage. Yes, that Jedi was amazing. That was incredible. I
That's my
loved it.
husband.
He's so good. He's so nice. I love meeting him too. That was a great moment.
Oh, thanks. He's
We
an
need to
awesome
actually get
guy.
together with our Star Wars cosplay.
Yes.
That would be dope. That would be cool. I'm just saying, Halloween's around the corner.
I,
But
I I am determined to get those of us that live nearby the digital media track together, like at the halfway point or something.
that would be
We just
cool.
need to.
Yeah, I will tell you
So,
though, not having a place to dump. my stuff when
Yeah.
I either got too exhausted, a little too hot. So this I wore it a second day. That's Sunday, the Sunday.
Yeah.
By that afternoon, though, I really felt it, and it's
You
very
were toast.
comfortable. But I felt it. Luckily, I had packed extra clothes, and I this isn't streamed live. I may or may not have
No,
changed in my car in the parking lot
that
real
is perfectly
fast,
fine.
really fast
Honey,
into my casual Zoe K-pop Demon Hunter,
that's awesome.
casual outfit. And I was sitting there going, at one point, like wiggling around, going, "Damn, I wish I had a room I could have gone to."
I have a friend, she lives in Kennesaw and or Marietta, Kennesaw, and she drives down and she does that. She parks in the Truist deck, I think, and she changes clothes in her car. I do not know how. The only time I've done that is when it was raining at Chastain, and I just decided I did not care.
I don't know if I could do that long term, and the plan is already to have 2 cosplays minimum for next year. So we're bringing the Mandalorian cosplay, gonna make some adjustments
Yes.
to it, and then it's gonna be a Fallout 4 cosplay.
And Earth Station's booze, right? That is the downside of not staying at the con.
Yeah.
Luckily, we have found a lot of properties. Matter of fact, Earth Station Boo, you and I will talk off stream. My friend Nerdy Body has found a lot of properties nearby that are fairly easy to get.
Mm.
They're a little bit of a walk, or you take a lift, or you can catch. One of them was near where the shuttle bus was.
Oh, see, I'd even
So
take that. I'd even take that. A shuttle bus or a short walk
I,
versus the 15 to 20-minute drive. Yeah,
oh
I see
yeah,
how that can make a difference. I might be willing to shell out extra because I can see how for cosplayers, especially, that's been a thing. And yeah, I would like to hang out at the Hilton with the cosplay a little bit longer. But
there you go.
that would mean bless, give me a room that I can go to, easier access to drop my stuff.
Oh, you should. Shane has this entire trunk that is literally, it's all the cosplay. It's huge. Like he actually measured it to make sure it would fit into my Rogue before we
Yeah,
bought the Rogue. Yeah.
that's what
Now
you
what
got
we're
to
gonna
do.
do, he's gonna have Paz from Mandalorian next year and hopefully Wrecker
Oh,
from Bad Batch. Because my husband's he's a tall man. He's a big guy.
his record
And
would be so okay. I
yeah,
can't
he's
wait.
gonna be great as Wrecker.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
So Earth Station Boo said this year I was at the Hyatt Place just a blockish away and it wasn't half bad. No, the Hyatt Place is actually, I think, really well located. Where we stay at the Ritz, we're about half a block from the Westin, and we're 2 blocks up from the Corgi, and then 3 blocks down from everywhere else. So I actually walk the street most of the time
I like that.
because it's just
It's
easier.
it's just easier, yeah.
So, so I have to ask.
Lessons being learned every con.
Oh, as I always say, every Dragon Con is different. No two dragons are the same. And what you do one year, you'll be like, well, damn, I didn't do that this year because
Mhm.
you found something else to do.
Yes.
um, so, what was your favorite panel that you either were volunteering for or that you went to see?
Oh, such a good question. Because
Thanks. I
I
try.
it was very I ended up sitting on so many good panels. Now, yeah, I did try to volunteer. For those of you who don't know, you have to volunteer for a certain amount of hours, but there are things that you can do beforehand or during. But they're just naturally going to be panels that you are going to want to sit in. And I'm telling you, volunteering is a great way to do it because you're guaranteed entry.
Yep.
Right. And we this year we had so many people in the Hyatt in the Galleria area. Where last year I remember because I was at
Oh,
Tech Track
we.
stuff and whatnot, it wasn't that busy. That was like the place to get away from people. Not this year. Holy smokes
Mm-mm.
doodles. I actually
Oh,
had to
and
do, thanks to Cause teaching me how to do some line management, had to line manage, and we actually had to we had to tell people we don't have room. There was me sitting in the back of the volunteer chair going, I'm
and
managing.
my coffee. Yeah, and we've not had like line management has not been something that we've had to deal with more than a couple of panels. But my first panel was Thursday night
Mm.
at 8:30, and it was frackin'
It was
packed.
full. It was full. Thursday at 8:30 at night. But yeah, Earth
Thursday at
Station
an
Boo, same.
8:30.
It was crazy. That awesome woman in digital media, I do remember that. That was a
Yeah,
great panel. Oh,
that's
watching the
Earth
Leg
Station Boo
Spotters.
was on it.
Yes, it was brilliant. I love that panel and listening to
I had
everybody
a
talk about their
blast.
experiences and whatnot. I was taking notes. Like if you want to see my notes app, I was just that's the other thing too. While I was checking the soundboard, I was like, okay, I gotta take notes. Da, 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 da. That was cool. Watching the late starters, watching their live, getting to see their live show and actually do it live at a table. I knew that I was
Oh
laughing.
yeah.
I was busting up a gut at some point with some of their hijinks that they were doing. It was such a cool experience from listening to the podcast to actually watching them do that. That was a lot of fun. Oh my god, just so many great
Oh,
panels.
I was just thinking that next year, I mean, maybe Earth Station Boo could apply to do their podcast live. I'm just saying, just
That
throwing it out
was
there.
that was so popular. Like podcast doing live shows is now such a major area of
Oh, I know.
entertainment because people feel connected to the podcasters. And so you want to see them and to experience them live is sometimes a very different feel. I mean, just look at the Hissing and Kissing
Oh
podcast.
my gosh.
That line.
You know about Charles and hissing and kissing.
Oh yeah. No, I'm in the
They
district.
squeak
Yeah.
Charles like they're my favorite because Charles gets squeaked. Charles, you're not here, but we're talking about you, dude.
And they were so nice too. So I was helping getting people in the panel for that because we needed it was everybody on board to try and help and get people in and unfortunately disappoint a lot of people until they couldn't get in. But they were giving out swag to people as they were coming in too. So that was really neat. No, there was just pretty much every digital media panel I was on was just amazing and very cool to see. Lots of podcasters this year, and it's very interesting to see how that
I
that's
know.
that speaks to how podcasting. And for me, one thing is very interesting because I still think of podcasting as an audio format, but I have
Yes.
to teach it as a video format now, and I have to tell my students like y'all don't understand. Like when podcasting wasn't a thing and we were doing this thing with
Yeah,
audio,
no.
that was the whole point of it. Was because we didn't have to rely on video. And now it's the question of if you're watching a video, are you watching a video? Are you watching a TV talk show? Or are you actually listening to a podcast? And
Right,
so
right.
having to make some of those distinctions, but seeing that sometimes come up in the panels really makes you feel good as a media teacher, going like, okay, we're still handling stuff well. Okay, good. Um, and that was just really neat. That was so cool.
Yeah, no, I love the fact that we had some new ones come this year, like Watchers in the Fourth Dimension. They're a Doctor
Mm.
Who podcast. We stole them from the Brit Chat to come do their podcast because they were on the podcast
No,
track. I
they just
mean,
jumped over. They just
that's our
jumped over a parallel
origins.
universe. That's all. They
That's
just jumped to the
right.
TARDIS and they took a little. It's just a little
Just a little
parallel universe
trip.
jump
I
over. That's
know.
all. They
Their
won't send them
room is
back.
bigger. I want their room.
Would you
But
say? Would you say their room is bigger on the inside?
oh yeah, it is bigger on the
I'm so sorry.
inside.
Charles is gonna kick me off. He's like, never again, never again have her on. What?
He's
How
like,
do they
no.
even? This is why students have to go
How?
through even worse
Why did we
trips.
let? Oh no. So do you teach online synchronous?
I teach everything. Yeah,
Okay,
I teach.
I'm
I
teaching
teach
an
any
online
mo. I
synchronous
teach
this
any
semester.
modality. I don't have to do a synchronous class this semester. I'm teaching online asynchronous, but
Okay.
I do a lot of video. When you do digital stuff, we do a lot of video, so it's like
Yeah.
they don't miss me. They don't. They definitely don't feel like I'm not there. That's for sure. I am the specter of whiter than a Victorian ghost figure
Oh
in
yeah. No. No.
in the announcements and discussion
I
boards.
understand what you're saying. I'm like, I am the pale lady. It's all gonna be fine, except for I'm gonna wear sunscreen. So, um, okay, so we talked about panels. What are you looking forward to? What was
Oh,
your biggest?
hang on,
I
Tyra.
got
What
okay.
about
I'm not.
you? What?
What was
First
it?
of all, Tyra, round of applause because you sat in on 9 panels.
9. Mm-hmm.
That's an incredible amount of work, and your panels were
I,
banging. I think I
I
had to I volunteered for about 3 of them, which was amazing. But not only out of your panels that you sat on, but any of the panels that you saw, panels you saw on. What was your favorite?
uh, hmm. So I'm trying to think. So I moderated 6 panels.
Hmm.
I moderated a lot this time. And I moderated outside of our track. I moderated 2 panels for the writers track this year, one of which was on writing spicy.
Ooh.
And I would just like to say that the lady that looks like your grandmother, she's going to be the troublemaker. I'm just putting that out there. It may not always be true, but in my experience, they are the troublemakers.
99% of the
And
time.
of time.
It is
But
not who you think it is.
no, no. But it was, I will say that I had done a panel that thankfully I was not moderating on the digital track with one of
Mhm.
my favorite people, Clint Hall. I love Clint.
Yes.
He's just a stellar guy. And I had to run from the Hilton to the Hyatt,
Uh-huh.
which should be easy because you just take the breezeway, right? But out of three elevators, only one of them was working.
No.
And then I jogged.
Oh.
I don't jog. You
You
might
don't take
jog.
the scooter and you don't jog.
No, no, the scooter I would land on my jogging I have a better chance of staying upright. So I jogged most of the breezeway, made it there 2 minutes to spare,
Oh
and
my
they all
gosh.
breathed this heavy sigh of relief because they thought they were going to have to moderate it themselves. I was like, y'all are unhinged enough.
We need an adult in the room. Tyra's not
So
here
yeah,
yet.
when the track chair's first words start with F, it's going to be fun. So that was by far probably the most fun I had. But I loved the Star Wars panel I went to
Mm.
because there was a gentleman there who I can't remember what character he does. Woods is his last name. The first name has left my brain, but he was so cute because he kind of took over moderating for Rob, who was there moderating
He's like,
because
I got this.
he
I got
he
this.
well he obviously probably has ADHD because oftentimes when I'm in meetings or I'm on a panel, I'm writing like what the person says or what they ask so that I can have a
Mhm.
trigger, but also to keep me engaged. And he does the same thing. And so when somebody didn't know the question before Rob could get it out of his mouth, there he was. Well, he asked. And I was like, that's awesome.
On it.
So that I loved. And Rob was so great because he could have kind of stepped in and take back control, but
Yeah.
he had the presence to realize that no, this is very organic and this works really well. And then when it
Yeah.
became time, he stepped back in. But he really did an excellent job of not letting his ego get in the way because
That's
I think
awesome.
sometimes it's hard and they were just delightful. Um, and so that was probably my favorite panel. I didn't get to go to a lot of other people's panels this year.
Mhm.
Disappointingly enough, I went to one on the Brit track because we always do that. We always try to do one panel there. Um, and I went to the Watchers in the Fourth Dimension. So I guess I did some Doctor
Yeah.
Who stuff.
Oh, I did
So,
do some. I did get to see People versus Voyager, so that was pretty cool because my friend just turned me
ooh,
on to that podcast, and I watched.
mm-hmm.
I listened to a couple episodes, so watching it live that was really cool. And for those of you who don't know, the reason why I bring that up is because the Brit track and the Trek track have a neat little
Oh
friendly
yes,
rivalry with each other, so they'll always play pranks on each other, and that's a fun one to see every year. Like, okay, what's the prank? What's gonna happen here? And they try to keep it civil, but for
I'm just
some
glad they don't
reason,
include us.
somehow us, and we're in very close proximity to those two though. Somehow they're
We're like
like,
a
all
crowd.
right, no, 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 no.
I think it's Charles. I mean, Charles is very large and imposing. Do you
He
really
doesn't
want
take
to prank
anything.
him? I
No,
know.
I wouldn't
And I
want to
would
prank
like
him
to,
now.
he's not here, so I'm going to talk nice about him. This year, hey there, baby girl. He took on the responsibility of being a multi-track director, which means he's above a bunch
Mhm.
of other directors on tracks that are in the Hilton kind of connected to us. And he did a lot, and he did really well. And part of the reason why he did well was because of the people that work on his track.
Yeah.
Yes. Kaz in our private chat said, I think we're too busy to notice a prank. 100%. We are working our butts off. Nobody works harder as a track. And I say this with love to all the other tracks than I think us. We put on more content. We stream more content than anybody else.
Oh,
We try. I mean, it's amazing what we do.
And the other volunteers, fantastic,
Yes.
incredible, amazing people to work with, incredible people who just know so much. For my first year volunteering, everybody was so nice and so welcoming and willing to help me learn, and
Yeah.
that was just amazing. It just made the whole experience so much more incredible. And that was the really neat thing. I think that was really cool. And then to hear how people really appreciated the streaming, that came up
Yeah.
several times. That people like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for streaming this. Some people saying that it's not even that they tried to get into the room; they were just tired and went
Yeah.
back to
No,
their rooms, but
100%.
they still wanted to see the panel. And we had panels that we could stream, and so they're like, oh my gosh, this was awesome.
Yeah, and I think that it's just and our station boost and most of the volunteers were amazing this year. And I absolutely agree. I work when I pick up my badge, I go to disability services, and I just want to give them a huge shout out for the lady who is running it over in the Eternals VIP area. That makes my con doable because
Mhm.
without that, I
Yeah.
can't stand for long periods of time, and that's amazing and how well they've got that working now. I'm hoping that we get the line back down to something manageable, um, because that is always tricky. We got it down. A lovely man that I know worked really hard to get it down, and then they switched over to this ticketing vendor, and we're still
The
working on
different,
getting it down again.
figuring it out.
We're smiling. It'll be fine. It'll all be fine.
It'll be
Um,
awesome.
It'll be awesome. So what was your biggest, like, as a content creator, what was your biggest takeaway from this Dragon Con?
Oh gosh. So this was interesting because this was something that I have noticed as someone who. So it's interesting because when people call me a content creator, it's really interesting because I kind of shook away a bit because I haven't created content in a really long time, and it's actually something that I've been working on to say I want to get back into content creation. It's really interesting when you become an educator about content, you actually end up producing less content. Because, and
It's
here's the
so
thing though,
true.
it's not that you're not producing less content, you're producing a lot of content. Tyra. We're producing content for class all the
All
time.
the time.
So we're researching, we're collecting other people's content, we're making our own lectures. We're actually like, especially for Tyra and I, who we are very digitally first. So we are making videos, we are doing all
Oh
sorts of
yeah.
things. Um, you know, and it's crazy. But then you realize like the stuff that you did on social media, like I used to do all sorts of just fun crap that you didn't worry about the algorithm or things like that. I did do stuff that was professional, but nothing that was really
Right.
top level. And then you kind of lose yourself. And so the last year, even I felt like I was creatively feeling juiced out, and that I just wanted to get back to a space where I was just creating for the social media space to taking into consideration who my audience is. Where I have now
Right.
several audiences. I have my students, I have colleagues, and I have friends who are interested in what I do. And now I'm going
Cool.
more into the nerd stuff too, where that's the stuff that fills my cup outside of work, which that's something that I am having to work on right now. I have a big problem that, I'm a bit of a workaholic. Um, so there's been this question of like work-life balance. There's been this big focus on
Um,
being able to do that and doing things that's not just work. But for those of us who do media and you teach media, it's very difficult not to bring it into work. And so
yes.
for me, though, I was very nervous about could I still do it? Could I still make content? Can I still do it? Should I even do it? There's so many other people making such good content. Stuff that I was telling my students about. And what would I tell my students, Tyra? Just make the content.
Let's do it.
Just do it. Just make it. Right? And then I'm sitting there going, oh, I'm such a hypocrite. And over the last 6 or so months, I've been hearing this a lot on social media. Other content creators coming up in a support space saying, just do it. Just make it. But you don't have to worry about making money, getting sponsorships. Like, do it for you. Do it to connect with people. Do it for creative elements, whatever. And then what may come from it, come from it. And I heard that a lot reinforced on panels. I heard that a lot. It was
I
a
think that's
lot
true.
of support of, um, and a lot of people were questioning too, like, where do I begin? How do I begin? How do I start? And it was the same thing over and over again. It was a just do it. Nike, don't sue me. It was a just do it. Just do it. Right. And that's the oversimplification. But a lot of people had really good advice about getting over the anxiety, getting over that imposter syndrome. And I think Alana Ma, the rugby player, has done a lot to talk about reframing imposter syndrome as well, which is fantastic.
Yes.
And so I was really shocked. I was sitting there going, you know how sometimes like, universe, send me a sign. Well, dang it. There was a sign on every freaking dang panel I was on about like, yeah, Elaine, just do it. Don't worry so much anymore. And so I've been trying to focus a little bit more on that. Now it's just a matter of just the time, just crunching out the time. But it's now no longer being so overly obsessed with making perfect content, with making overly produced
Yes.
content. Just make it. So I'm actually busy working on creating my little nerd space, which is for my cosplayers
Yay.
and stuff like that, and having stuff that'll be more branded for school, which is more like the motivational stuff I do in class, put it online too, because there's some students who aren't even in our classes who could do with that message.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. And that's just to share that content out there and to connect with people and give them that. And it was getting over that fear of it, the fear of judgment, whatnot, and like essentially putting my money where my mouth is too, and showing my students like, listen, we don't have to do it well, but we're also doing it. So we're also living it. And so that's yeah, that was repeated. Listen, that's
Yes.
exactly the panel where that was the last panel I had to volunteer. Like that one hit for sure. So
Yeah. Earth
that was
Station
the
Boo
big
said that
takeaway for
was,
me.
yeah, she said that was said repeatedly on the women's panel, which is so
Mhm.
true. And actually, Earth Station Boo actually had some really amazing, like, um, step back and look at life comments on that panel that really helped me try to remember to put things in perspective and not always be working, and good enough is good enough and it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be perfect. um, I had Clint McElroy on my first
Yes.
panel, which was about perfection. And as he said, he had no idea why he was there because he's not a perfectionist, but it was like the perfect thing to hear why you should, why you should just let it go. Just let it
Mhm.
go. It'll be fine.
Yep.
Uh,
Because that's the funny thing
so,
too is I want something to be perfect, but then in the very act of trying it to become perfect, it's never perfect in any case,
right.
because you end up being so overly anxious about it and worried about it that it never really gets out in time, and then you're worried about getting it out, and then there are mistakes, and there's actually more mistakes that might have been if you just did it and let go of a lot of those things.
Yeah. Like, can we just, good enough is good enough.
Yeah. So those were really great messages that I took for myself personally. But yes, also ever the workaholic, but it did work. Also
Mhm.
taking that message to my students and the work that we do there, which I think was just important for anyone, not just as a
Yeah.
content creator, but especially for content creators.
No, I agree. I think there's just so, like, I think our station boost, she said, perfect is boring.
Mm,
And it is. And I think life is messy, and it's okay if content is messy too.
yes.
So,
And I think we're seeing people register that with a little bit more too about where we are. Um, we see that you can spend millions of dollars on the most incredible campaigns, most crisp video and whatnot, and it doesn't hit. Someone makes hey, here's a story time on an unmade bed, busy drinking a pumpkin cold brew, and it goes. And it's
it's
because
true.
there's just this level of almost, I don't want to say authenticity because I don't feel like those other things cannot be authentic, but it's just like
Right.
there's this veneer almost that comes
There's
with
a realism.
perfection content
Yes.
that people, we can see it, we can feel it. So wanting to fight that though, I love this as I do it, surf the chaos. Oh my god, I want that
That's
on it.
that's what we
I need it
say
on a
to,
shirt. I need it on a mug. I put that on the merch. Surf,
that is what we
surf
say
the
here at
chaos.
Be Awesome Together is,
Yes.
and funnily enough, Charles thinks he's the chaos. I let him have his
You
delusions.
let it, he's Delulu, as the
He
kids say.
is. He's awesome together.
Oh, together.
Okay, so we're gonna start wrapping up here. So I want you to tell us what you're excited about for next year, because I am having the worst case of Dragon Con blues I
Oh
have
my
ever
god.
had.
It's I'm just sitting here going, we we still have to wait. The countdown is already
I
in my
know.
head. It's insane.
And it's huge. It's longer because, it moves with Labor Day, so we actually have longer than a
Actually,
year.
I know. Don't
It
remind me, Tyra.
sucks. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it's okay. It's fine. I'll distract
It,
myself with cosplay.
it'll all be
What am I
okay.
excited about? well, it being the 40th anniversary, I that's a big deal. 40 years is a long time. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that's amazing. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what they want to do for the 40th year. Um, gosh, well, what would I be? I would be excited to see. So this is something that I don't know. I want to pitch it. I would love to see some of like the way that we have our podcasters coming to the show. I would like to see live streamers. We have a station for live streamers. Whether it's, I know it's always
Oh,
difficult because it's more more bandwidth, more stuff, but I think that'd be so cool to have
yeah.
a space for live streamers where eventually you could also do it as like a mini workshop where you have people test out live streaming and stuff like that. I think that's really exciting in terms of thinking about
Yeah.
where it can all go further. Is always very exciting. And then I'm just excited to see the people that I have become friends with. I
Yes.
know that's cliche, and I hear it from people all the time, but it's yes, the beautiful frame. It's oh my god, I'm getting it. I wasn't expecting to get a little bit emotional about it. Um,
It's true.
but it's a special moment. I have met some of
Hmm.
the best friends through nerddom, through fandom, going to cons. Some of them you only get to see that one time a year. We don't always
Yeah.
get the privilege. Some of them they come from different countries, different states. It's not always easy to travel, and so it's a very special time to be able to take that moment. It's not just about the con; it's about so much more than that, and
Right.
it's about this community that we've developed and this moment to come together with each other. Um, and that's something that's just always going to be top of the list.
Yeah.
That moment together is I'm always looking forward to that because you can get nuggets of that. You can get nuggets of that throughout the year, but there's something
But
really
it's not the same.
special. It's not the same. It's something when it comes together at that kind of level,
Yeah.
that Dragon Con level. There's something about that camaraderie that then spreads to everyone.
And I
That
think
spreads to everyone.
it makes those of us who are not normal feel normal.
Yeah.
I always say these are my people, these are my family.
Mhm.
Um, I always knew when I was a single lady that I would meet my husband at Dragon Con, and I did. And I've met some of my best friends through there that have changed my life. Charles, Kaz, uh, dear sweet Earth Station Boo, who's I hope to know more. But Dragon Con community is otherworldly. It's true. I brought in my friends from the Mandalorian community, and I said, "Hey, there's this thing called Dragon Con. I think you all would like it." And now. And now they're addicted, and we stayed up to 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday at Dragon Con chatting with each other. And we had one girl from Texas who, on the Wednesday before Dragon started on Thursday, said, "I'm going to come. Can I sleep on your couch, Nerdy?" And Nerdy said yes. And she bought a plane ticket Wednesday for
Heck yeah.
Friday.
Heck yeah.
We were talking about it, and she's like, there's just something different about Dragon. And until you experience it, you don't really understand it. And the
Yeah.
people and the friends that you make there, it's so much community.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, we heard
And
about it when we were at San Diego Comic Con. One of my friends on the East Coast had talked about it then. You'd always heard about it. It was always on the list, but traveling from East Coast to West Coast to East Coast was so much at that time. And so I'm
yeah.
very thankful that I got to move here because the very first thing I did when I moved here, I said Dragon Con. Okay, I said Trader Joe's first because I was actually
Oh,
within only an hour distance of Trader Joe's. So, remember, food motivates.
okay.
But then I said
Good.
Dragon Con next moment. Okay, I have to wait a couple months in any case. And then I got it. My very first Dragon Con,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I get it. No, absolutely. And since then, it's just that's it. That's it. That's it.
There's no other place like home.
There you go.
It's just home is five hotels and an America's Mart.
And a
But really,
couple
it's all. It's
a couple skywalks.
a couple
Scooters for
skywalks.
those of us brave enough today.
Yes, or Station Boo, you keep on those scooters, but for the rest of us sane people, we'll be walking. But
Jogging
I just
only
want,
if we need to.
yes. So I am so excited that you were able to join us here today, and just putting a call out there. Anybody else that wants to join us, hint, hint. We would love to have you on the Awesome Together. Elaine, will you tell them where they can find you?
Oh, sure, absolutely. So on Instagram right now, I am L_Venter. Very easy to find me with my name, Elaine Venter, Venter. I'm also on LinkedIn. That's my professional space. And I am currently working on my nerdy space, which I will have on
Ooh.
TikTok. That is chaotically pleasant
Ah,
nerd. And
oh,
that's all one word.
cute.
All one word.
Okay. So I have not completely embraced the TikTok. Dobby
I
is
have
doing really well there.
I have embraced it now as my fun space. That's my fun
Charles loves it.
space.
You and
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
Due to, I'm going to pop his stuff up here. This is where you can find Charles at Linktree RGOP, which has nothing to do with the Republican Party. But you can find him there, and I tease him about this all the time. But his caffeinations, which were inspired
Oh,
by here, are just excellent. So if you haven't seen Charles's caffeinations, go hunt down the rock god of podcasting and go see them.
they're
Uh,
very good.
I, Yes, they are. You can find me everywhere at tyraburton.com because I believe in owning a website. And if you know that joke, you were at one of my panels. But I also do have a link tree. So feel free to look at it too. But you can find everything here because that's what websites are for.
I
And
was
because
I
I
was
love
at
it,
that panel.
it's always joyful. Don't forget the digital media track. Charles and I love them. We started there, so start it, look there, and of course, we have our link tree for Be Awesome Together. You can find all our stuff there. And right now, I do have a plea. So those of you out there, if you're watching, if you're listening later, if you're whatever you're doing, go to Facebook. I don't care if you have to dust off the cobwebs. Go to Facebook and please like our page because until we get 100 people liking it, we can't stream live on Facebook. And I know this is shocking, but there are people who watch live on Facebook. So please, for the love of all that is holy at DragonCon, including the carpet and the FedEx guy, and all the ribbons, please go like us on Facebook and all the other places that you can find us at our link tree.
I
So
cannot
this
believe I'm
message,
doing this right now.
thank you. I appreciate you. Uh, and Earth Station Boo already likes us. Kaz already likes us. I already like myself. That's how bad we are. Though, funny enough, I don't think my husband does.
Done.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I almost forgot I had Facebook on this phone, to be honest. I'm like, oh, that's right.
Yeah, I could do that. Two thumbs up to you. Don't forget to like us on Instagram as well. And we love Dragon Con. Next week we'll be back. I hope Charles will be with me and we'll talk about something. I don't know what. We haven't planned stuff since Dragon because,
We're
yeah,
tired.
good times.
We're
We're
tired
tired.
and we're missing Dragon.
We are. So thanks everybody for joining us and we'll see you next time on Be Awesome Together.
Cheers.